Mr. Speaker, members, thank you for this opportunity to lay out House Bill 1738. The purpose of this legislation is to align Texas state law with the bedrock principles enshrined in the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution by striking the unconstitutional language from 21.06 of the Penal Code. In 2003, the landmark Supreme Court decision, Lawrence v. Texas, establishing that criminalizing consensual adult non-procreative sexual activity, often referred to as sodomy laws, is unconstitutional. This ruling affirmed the fundamental right to privacy and personal autonomy for all Americans. Despite the clear precedent that the Lawrence v. Texas set over 2 decades ago, this outdated and unenforceable language remains in our penal code. Member, this is a matter of common sense governance. I'm not asking you to vote based on whether or not you agree with the Lawrence v. Texas ruling. Instead, I'm asking you to vote on a law that strengthens the fundamental civil liberties and individual freedoms that all Texans deserve. I'm asking you to vote for a law that upholds the principles that Texans should have the freedom and ability to make their own private decisions without unwarranted government interference. I'm proud to acknowledge the bipartisan support this bill has gathered both this session and last. Members, I respectfully come before you today to ask for your affirmative vote to move HB 1738 from the House floor. Thank you, members. Mr. Speaker, I move passage.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Harrison, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield?
Will the gentleman
Yes.
yield for questions?
Yes.
Gentleman yields.
Great. Thank you, Representative Jones. Is it fair to say that you and I, we disagree frequently, don't we?
I can say a little more than frequently, but I'm
Yeah.
happy on this. We come together and agree on
I'll
this.
go further. We disagree like a whole lot. Is that right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, we do. But over the couple of years we've served together, we have found a couple instances where we have been able to team up where there were issues that went to the core of things such as medical freedom or individual liberty. Is that right?
Absolutely, sir.
I agree, and this is one of those instances. A couple questions for you, Representative. Isn't Senator Ted Cruz typically considered one of the most conservative Republicans in the United States Senate?
Yes, he is.
That's accurate. And are you aware that in 2022, just a few years ago, Senator Cruz called to repeal the very law that your bill repeals today?
That is correct, sir.
And are you also aware that his spokesman said the following, quote, "Consenting adults should be able to do what they wish in their private sexual activity and that government has no business in their bedrooms"?
That is correct.
Is it, another question for you, Representative, are you, is it fair to say that Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is widely regarded as one of the most conservative justices to have ever served on the U.S. Supreme Court?
Again, you are correct.
That's right. Are you aware, Representative, that Justice Thomas has actually given an opinion on how he feels about Texas's current criminal law that your bill seeks to repeal? And in fact, Justice Thomas went so far as to, on the record, call our current law, quote, uncommonly silly.
That is correct.
Are you aware, Representative Jones, that Justice Thomas actually went further than that and has stated, and I quote, that punishing somebody for expressing his sexual preference through non-commercial consensual conduct with another adult does not appear to be a worthy way to expend valuable law enforcement resources?
That is correct.
And did you know that Justice Clarence Thomas has gone even further than that? And in a way, he has actually weighed in on the very bill that you're bringing forth today, saying in 2003, and I quote, I'm going to read this one slowly. This is Justice Clarence Thomas speaking in 2003 about the very matter we are discussing right now. Clarence Thomas said, "If I were a member of the Texas legislature, I would vote to repeal that law."
That is correct.
That is correct. Representative Jones, does your bill grow government, or does your bill reduce government?
My bill reduced government.
I agree that your bill reduces government. Does your bill add a law to our books, or does your bill take a law off of our books?
It removes the law from our book, sir.
You may or may not be aware, I'm actually kind of frustrated that this might actually be the first bill that we have brought to the floor that removes a law off of our books. Is that maybe a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
It's a fair statement. Well, I just want to close by saying that I plan to do today exactly what Justice Clarence Thomas said that he would do if he were a member of the Texas legislature, and I plan to vote yes for this bill. Thank you for bringing it.
Thank you for your support, sir. Move passage.